Finally, we have concrete info on the Quest 3. So far, everyone's been suckling at the now dried and shriveled teat of the Sadly It's Bradley leaks, but just in we have the first hands-on impressions to confirm and expand on those leaks. Praise be to Mark Gurman of Bloomberg, who got his hands on a prototype, and I can confirm this wasn't through Meta. Meta didn't provide him with the headset and wouldn't answer his questions when he told him he was doing a piece on it. So buckle up, let's summarise his thoughts and also debunk some things that have cropped up and riled the people. First, let's put Mark into some context. He's a tech journalist and a self-professed Apple fanboy, so his VR savvy is limited. A few things stood out to myself and others that potentially could be misconstrued. So he went hands-on with a prototype version of the headset. His thoughts are placed in the thinking of how would this stack up against Apple's headset. Bear that in mind. He tried out the Quest 3's interface, UI, home environment, video pass-through mode, software features and gaming capability. He said it feels lighter and thinner than the existing Quest 2. Let's unpack this, as Kicksliv or Sixliv on Twitter also has a Quest 3 and hasn't signed an NDA and says on paper, he weighed it himself, it's actually a little heavier than the Quest 2 at 509 grams.
My hands-on was with the Quest 3, not with the Apple device. A developer stated the Quest 3 is actually 509 grams, just a few more grams than the Quest 2. It felt lighter to me, but I didn't bring a scale with me. It felt lighter on the face, that's right. When I said lighter, I was talking about on the face. It felt lighter to me. It felt lighter to me. I'm gonna check. You know what? I'm gonna weigh it.
Feeling lighter isn't wrong, as it is thinner so it sits closer to your face and the weight distribution is better and more comfortable. The strap to place it on your head seems a bit stronger, and just like the renders we've seen, the fabric goes right up to the end and apparently feels much more premium.
The strap is much better and more premium.
Speaking of the renders, Mark was well aware of them and the leaks from Bradley. I asked him if the renders were pretty spot on. His response was, they're not pretty spot on, it's 100% exactly like the renders. It has 3 vertical pill-shaped sensor areas across the front as we've seen. The left and right pills each include one coloured pass-through camera as well as a standard camera. The middle pill includes the depth sensor, which we know was meant to be in the Quest Pro, but we'll come back to that later. The front lower sides of the headset include one tracking camera, while the bottom has a volume rocker and a wheel to adjust the headset's IPD, so no more 3 set positions. Sounds like it'll be a smooth IPD range, which is great news. However, there's a lack of camera on the top of the headset, so I hope this doesn't affect any hand or controller movements above your head. The power button and USB-C port remain on the side of the headset. According to Gurman, the actual clarity and VR displays within the Quest 3 feel similar to those in the Quest 2, despite the resolution rumoured to be slightly higher. This raised alarm bells in the community and also a red flag to Gurman's display knowledge. He doesn't have a great memory regarding the Quest Pro displays, for example. He never mentions pancake displays in the article, but it definitely has them. If it's the same size as the renders, Fresnel lenses couldn't be that thin. He doesn't seem to notice a difference, but there should be a significant one. However, I remember when the Quest Pro first got bandied around, journalists didn't seem to see a drastic display improvement there, but enthusiasts since are still describing it as having the best display for PSVR at its price point, so I would take this with a pinch of salt. Next, he talks about mixed reality capabilities. While I don't believe the Quest 3's video pass-through performance will come close to that of the Apple device, which will have about a dozen cameras, it is a night and day improvement over the Quest 2. Quest 3 presented colours more accurately and offered an almost lifelike rendering of the real world. I was even able to use my phone while wearing the headset, something that often feels impossible on the Quest 2. So this is huge, as apparently you can't really use your phone on the Quest Pro pass-through, so potentially due to the depth sensor this is another big step up in the mixed reality performance.
Yes, I tried mixed reality on the Quest 3, so if you're like in your home environment, you turn on mixed reality pass-through. It's like a software setting, and basically instead of seeing the home environment or like a gray screen or whatever you have it set to behind the app you're looking at, it's actually the real world behind you. It's the same thing Apple's doing. Shoot, have I used a Quest Pro? I have used a Quest Pro. That thing's awful. I don't remember the pass-through, honestly. But I literally was wearing this headset and I did what I couldn't do on my Quest 2. I tried looking at the time on my Apple Watch and I was able to read the time. I was texting through my iPhone while wearing the headset, which if you've used a Quest 2, is not possible. So yeah, no, it's a big improvement. I'm not saying it's crystal clear like you're looking through regular glasses, right? But I'm telling you, it's day and night compared to the Quest 2. With the Quest 3, it was obvious that you're looking through VR or you're looking through something, right? So I don't want to create the impression where it's like you can't discern between real life and fake. So it's not that good. I think Apple's will be pretty good on par with that. But you're able to read your phone, like you can scroll through Twitter and whatever. So it's a big improvement there. It was day and night. Like I couldn't believe it compared to using the Quest 2 and how horrible pass-through is on that thing. It's a big difference. I was genuinely impressed with the pass-through.
The speed of navigating the apps and playing games also felt much improved over the Quest 2. Here it is straight from the horse's mouth in terms of performance.
It felt so much faster. I've got 2 Quest 2s here, and this thing is so much faster. It's got the 2nd Gen XR2.
He also confirmed no eye or face tracking, unfortunately, but we know this is to keep the price down.
No face, no eye tracking is right. The depth perception was reasonable. I would say is reasonably accurate.
Now regarding controllers, here's another big twist. Quest 3's hand controllers are redesigned and look similar to the remotes included with the Quest Pro. These components, which are grey to match the colour of the headset, we'll come back to this, lose the large rings on top of the Quest 2 versions. They also lack the camera found in the Quest Pro controllers. He then predicts they may have a hard time with tracking because of this. No IR ring and no cameras. But we don't know for sure how they're being tracked, and Mark hasn't confirmed they don't have IR lights in the face of the controller as predicted by Luna on Twitter here. Now regarding the grey colour, I asked him about this myself.
I said gray. Believe it or not, I'm freaking colorblind, okay? I'm colorblind, okay? It's the same color as the Quest 2, all right? So God forgive me. I said gray. It looks gray to me. It's the same as the Quest 2, okay?
So it will be the same colour as the Quest 2, just to clear that up. The depth sensor on the headset powers what is known as environment meshing. That allows the device to automatically identify surrounding walls, so for example you can play a game where you shoot objects off a wall or cover your environment in a digital skin. More importantly, you won't have to manually establish where each wall is in your house. In layman's terms, this means Quest 3 will have an automatic guarding system. Huge.
The Quest I used, OS-wise, was identical to the Quest 2. Same home environment. The new software features had to do with the environmental meshing, which is similar to like a feature that iOS has already with the LiDAR scanner.
So the price or even number specs aren't completely confirmed, but based on how accurate Bradley's leaks have turned out, I would still go by those paper specs too. Price-wise, the $500 number seems to be the realistic expectation, so $499. My own thoughts is that the Quest 2 will continue being sold at a reduced $299 price, its original price. But there's a boatload of excitement here, and I'm hoping more people will be getting their hands on the device and we can hopefully see more up until the gaming showcase in 3 days time, where I still think there's a high chance they tease the new headset prior to Apple's WWDC. This is a very info heavy video, so thanks so much for sticking with me. It was a bunch of work lining all this up and getting those questions answered by Mark. Mr. Gurman, I really appreciate you taking the time to answer those. I know the Quest isn't your specialist subject, but you've done a service. So please help me out, like and share the video where you can, and don't forget to subscribe to be on the cutting edge of worthwhile XR news. If it's not worth talking about, I won't waste your time with it. Hence my lack of video on the PSVR 2 showcase coverage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for the gaming showcase.
I think Apple is just going to give so much momentum to Meta on this thing.